Critter Care is brought to you by Petland. Pets make life better.
If you've been thinking about introducing an aquarium to your home, but you're scared or intimidated by all the work that might entail, some good news for you on our segment today. Robert Church with us as always. And Robert, it's not as much work as some people make it out to be, or as it maybe once was, to get set up with an aquarium.
Well, you know what? Keeping an aquarium is a lot of fun, and it's not work. It's a hobby. And it's a lot of fun to mess around in your tank and decorate it and clean it. It's a nice little thing to do. But frankly, the real enjoyment is just going to be from watching those happy, healthy fish frolicking in their new environment.
And as I said, it's a lot easier now because you can not only save some of the work, but save a few bucks by looking at a kit and everything you need to get started in one easy box. And that's what we're going to show you today. Well, that's what you're going to show us today.
It's just a nice way to do it because you get everything you need, then you just add some basics to it afterwards. So this is a 20-gallon starter kit, and it's 2 feet long, 12 inches wide, and it's about that tall. What it comes with, basically everything here except for the gravel, which you want to buy your own gravel for the color selection.
Right.
So we've got a tank, and the other thing that's very important is a good lid with a fluorescent light. Fluorescent light is a much better than incandescent light because it just brings out the colors of your fish and the colors of the gravel, and it really shows off your tank really nicely.
Okay.
And chances are we're going to be keeping tropical fish, so we probably want to have a heater for our tank, and we want to have a heater that's about 3 to 5 watts per gallon. So that will avoid any accidental overheating of your tank. It will also keep your tank at the proper temperature and easy to maintain it at that proper temperature.
Okay, and a filter is very important as well.
Well, and yes, a filter is very important. They're remarkably simple little gadgets. They keep your water clean, they keep it oxygenated, they keep it circulating, it provides current, and basically the water just gets sucked into here, and there's a little motor here, one moving part, and then the water goes through a big sponge that catches all the waste and also provides high levels of nitrifying bacteria. More on that later. And also carbon. And carbon, of course, is charcoal carbon. It's very porous, and it absorbs colors and odors and gases in your aquarium. And then the water just comes up through here, pours back into your tank, and keeps it nice and clean. So with a filter, you never really, you change the carbon about every 6 weeks because it gets full. But that sponge, well, you can get some pretty good sponge life because, again, it has high levels of beneficial bacteria that grow in it, and that bacteria uses oxygen and breaks down all the waste. So you don't want that sponge to be too clean. Gravel, a good gravel bed is very important for your aquarium because it also provides surface area for that beneficial bacteria to grow on. And you don't need to worry too much about that, but we recommend 1.5 to 2 pounds of gravel per gallon because, again, you want to have a good gravel bed to hold down all the waste. Sometimes people, they say, oh, my tank's kind of cloudy, it's never really clear, and then they only have that much gravel, and then they add gravel and it clears up. It's amazing how it works.
All right, so now just add water?
Well, yeah, let's just add some water and get this thing running.
All right, so while Robert catches, you catch your breath, start to think about what we have to do to this water. This is what we put in here is straight out of the tap, and in most cities now you're talking fluoride and chlorine and things like that in the tap water. That's not what you want your fish in.
That's right. We want to add some chlorine neutralizer, and you really want to make sure you use this stuff because there is a lot of stuff in the water that this does neutralize. And you can also add cycle, which is, remember that bacteria I was talking about? This gets it going. This is a bacteria supplement to help with your nitrifying bacteria, and that will keep your tank nice and healthy. So add some of this.
Now, we've got 20 gallons of water in a glass tank, obviously very heavy, and something to consider is where you don't set this up on a TV tray and then dump all that water in it, right?
Well, water weighs about 10 pounds per gallon, so my little aquarium here is going to weigh about 220 pounds. We want to make sure that we've got a really solid structure that we're going to sit it on, and also make sure that it's not some priceless wood heirloom that grandma left you, because you are going to get a little bit of water just down along the edge. no matter how hard you try, there will be a little water, so make sure it's not something that is going to suffer from any water damage. Try to keep it out of direct sunlight and maybe even a lot of indirect sunlight, if that makes sense. You may want to keep the blinds down during the day if it's in a living room where it is going to get a lot of light, because that will stimulate an algae bloom. If you find you're having algae problems, you might even keep the light off during the day. Too much light sometimes causes algae to grow.
And that's all it takes. Now you're set up, you can start raising fish, you can start enjoying fish, and you're just getting started now. There's so much more you can do once you explore and do your research, right?
It's a beautiful, beautiful hobby, and once you get into it, you're going to love it. So yeah, can't advocate for it enough.
There you go, Robert. Thanks very much. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. It's not that difficult to do. See you next time.